Hi there, my little chicken nugget messengers. It's me, Carl. Hey, welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV. Hosted by Carl. Where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Y'all want to hear a mailman joke? Okay, here we go. Knock, knock. Then you say, like, who's there? And I say, Nana. Then you say, Nana who? To which I say, Nana, your business. That was good, right? Man, I cracked myself up. So, you're a little late because I just finished up my route. I know. It was a good day. I only got bit by 4 dogs and believe it or not, just 1 lizard. And that's why I always say a bite from a lizard is always... That's weird. It's addressed to me. Where'd this come from? Sounds like... It could be a chandelier. Maybe... Could be a chandelier, skateboard, or a carrot cake. I love carrot cake. Oh, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't be doing this in front of y'all. I mean, would you want me to, like, I don't know, open it now? I can? All right. There's nothing in there. Ah!
You thought it was a chandelier, and you opened it and it hit you in the face.
This was you?
Yeah, pretty funny, right?
Yeah, hilarious. I can't stop laughing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it would be funny.
Well, it was a little funny.
Right?
I mean, it was the last thing I was expecting, so.
I knew it would be.
Yeah, that confetti went everywhere.
Like God's message.
Excuse me?
Oh, I was just saying, like, how the confetti went everywhere, God's message is similar.
Andrew, are you okay? How many fingers am I holding up? You're talking nonsense.
I'm fine. Carl, don't you remember what Paul did in Acts chapter 16?
Like the back of my hand. What is that?
Well, Paul was sleeping when God sent him a vision.
Another vision? We just learned about Peter's last week. What was Paul's?
Paul saw a man from the city of Macedonia begging. He said, come over to Macedonia and help us.
How long would it take to ride my bike to Macedonia?
Depends on where you live.
Say I live in, I don't know, Michigan.
Well, there's a lot of water to cross, so I'd recommend a plane and then an Uber.
What if I lived in Down Under, like in Australia?
Same thing. There's water, then land. You're going to want to go north of Greece once you cross the Mediterranean Sea.
Very good. So when Paul woke up, did he go or not? Because it seems like wherever you are on the planet, it's going to be a long walk.
Well, Paul trusted that this vision was from God, so he got up and went to Macedonia.
Even though he wasn't sure exactly why?
Yep, he may not have understood why he was supposed to go right now, but later on it would make sense.
Wow, that takes a lot of faith.
Sure does. So they traveled a long ways just to get to Macedonia. And after a few days, they went to find a place of prayer near the river.
Was anyone there?
There were, a group of women actually, and Paul began to share God's message with them. But in the crowd, there was a lady named Lydia.
Lydia? I've heard of her. Did she follow Jesus too?
She, like others in her time, were just learning about Jesus. She worshiped God, and Paul was the messenger from God used to open her heart to the message of Jesus.
Nice. So what happened next?
Well, God began to work on Lydia and open her heart to the message that Paul was teaching.
Awesome. Did she choose to get baptized?
Not only her, but her whole family as well. They chose to follow God together that day.
Wow. So that's what the vision was about.
Exactly. God gave Paul that vision so he could get up and spread the message of God to those who needed it.
That's really cool. I wonder how he could do that.
What do you mean, Carl?
Well, I know I live a long way from Macedonia, but how can I share God's message in new places like Paul?
Well, believe it or not, it's pretty easy.
Really?
Well, think about it. Each week, don't you go to new places?
Sure. I go to the aquarium, the grocery store, Chick-fil-A, and sometimes the bank to ask for samples.
Well, then there you go. Those are all places where God's message can go with you. Everywhere we go, we have the opportunity to not only share God's love, but share God's message and be kind to everyone we meet.
Huh, wow, I guess you're right. Better start acting like this confetti and start bringing God's message everywhere.
That sounds like a great plan.
Hey there, kiddos. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed watching Carl learn a valuable lesson this week. And speaking of that, our big idea this week is God's message goes everywhere. So let's do our absolute best to say it so loud that the stamps on people's letters begin to fly off. Ready? 1, 2, 3. God's message goes everywhere. Wonderful job, everyone. Now, before you go, can I ask you a huge favor? Can you do your best to bring God's message to all of your friends and family this week? I bet there are things you can do to show your friends love, to be supportive of your family, to help someone around you. All of these things are things that take God's message to others. Deal? Deal. I'll see you next time, kids. Bye.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Pro TV.
Hey, welcome to KCTV, where we want to make great friends and learn about Jesus. One night, Paul was just chilling, and all of a sudden he had this vision. There was this man from Macedonia, which was kind of like from a different state, and he is just standing there with Paul, pleading for Paul to come and save us, come and help us. So Paul and his friend Luke left at once. They went right there because they concluded this must be a message from God to go and preach the good news there. So they sailed to the city of Philippi. I don't know who Phil is, but apparently he has a lot of pie. I'm sorry. Anyways, Philippi was like a major city in the region of Macedonia. Not really that important. But we gotta pause right here and ask a couple questions. Why did Paul go to Philippi in Macedonia? Because he had a vision from God and thought this must mean I'm supposed to go and preach the good news there. Second question, who went with Paul to Macedonia? His friend Luke. All right, let's continue the story. So when they got to Macedonia, which is in northern Greece, they stayed there for a while and probably ate a whole bunch of Greek salads. After a few days, they started to get confused, like, God, why did you tell us to come here? Then on the Sabbath day, they went down to a riverbank where they thought there'd be a bunch of people praying. When they got there, they actually went and sat down with a group of women who were there to pray. One of them was a woman named Lydia, who was a merchant of expensive purple cloth. Ooh. And she also worshiped God. Lydia listened very, very closely as Paul and Luke explained the good news about Jesus, that he was God's son come to save us all. And the Lord opened Lydia's heart, and her entire family became followers of Jesus that day and got baptized. Bing, 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 bing. Her whole family all got dunked. Bing, bing. How cool is that? And then she urged Paul and Luke to stay a little bit longer so she could continue to learn more and more about Jesus. All right, here's some questions for you to think about. What did Paul and Luke do in the city of Philippi in this region of Macedonia? What did they do there? What was the name of the woman that they met down by the riverbank? What happened when Lydia heard Paul's message? Last question. How can you take the message of Jesus to everyone? Because our big idea today is that God's message goes everywhere, like everywhere to everyone. And God wants to use us, you, me, God wants to use us as his messengers, just like he used Paul and Luke to be his messengers. How can you help take that message everywhere? All right, guys, have a great week. We'll see you next time. Bye.